man. What are we talking about?
Right and wrong.
Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Right and wrong.
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
Whoa.
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
Whoa.
Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Right and wrong.
Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Right and wrong.
Welcome to Right and Wrong. This is the show where we try to wake up the woke by talking common sense about the issues of the day. I'm your host, Brian Ruka, and with me as always over there is my man and yours, producer Juice. He's known as the Truth Box out there, ladies and gentlemen. My man Truth Box, how's everything going today?
Great, man. 35 days, brother. Ish.
Ooh,
Give or
baby.
take from when this goes live.
Shit is about to get real.
And I'd be remiss if I didn't give you a shout out on the 1K. 1K subscribers for the guy. Thanks for
Made it.
Get that juice box 1423 up.
Let's go, brother. We'll get you there before election time. Keep retweeting clips from these episodes. That'll do it. Everybody wants to see the right and wrong
and
clips.
Mr. Blue Check can post clips.
Longer videos now, baby. Woo!
Let's roll.
All right. So I just finished up a Bible study focusing on the Gospel of John. Now, the last session made a point of focusing on that line from Pontius Pilate, where Pilate asks Jesus, "What is truth?" Now, Pilate is clearly mocking Jesus here and implying that truth is in the eye of the beholder. Or to bring it into the year 2024, Pilate is speaking to Jesus the same way a 20-year-old gender studies major speaks to their parents. Mom, Dad, I'm just living my truth. Now, the point that got brought up in our group discussion was that Pilate was saying this and taking actions to go along to get along, more or less. He clearly didn't think Jesus deserved to be put to death, but he was afraid of the backlash that he would have faced from a bloodthirsty crowd that wanted him to deliver. So the question was, it was put to us, what types of things do we go along to get along with in our daily lives? Do we retreat from sharing God's message because in our secular world, we're afraid that we'll be mocked and criticized? Do we simply say, well, this is what I believe when the topic of gay marriage comes up? What about abortion? I used to take a stance that I personally believe it's wrong to murder a baby in the womb, but who am I to tell you what you can and cannot do? That's a form of denying Jesus. Peter denied him 3 times. How many times have you denied him? I think of the examples that I just used, and I look at that as a form of self-policing. The secular world has gotten really good at getting people to self-police, especially Christians. The secular world has convinced the religious folks that they can somehow live a double life. The world has tried to convince us that we can live a Christian life for an hour or two every Sunday, but after that, we need to go along to get along and continue to live in a world where everyone lives according to their own truth. To answer Pilate's question, what is truth? I'd say he was looking at it. Jesus is the truth and Jesus is the way. It's our job to know, to live that, to hopefully share that with as many people as we can on our time on this earth. And with that being said, I do believe it's time to welcome in our good friend, Mr. Ric Flair, because it is showtime, baby. Woo!
Showtime! Woo! Woo!
Woo! Woo!
He was looking at him, dude. That was dope.
Who?
The truth. He's looking at the
He's
truth.
looking right at him, right?
When not talking Paul Pierce either.
That's true. You know what it got me thinking of is you remember the movie The Departed? Where
The Departed?
Yeah, exactly. Where Wahlberg's getting in Leo's face and he's like, "You were one of those double kids, weren't you?"
Oh, yeah, I know this. You can't handle the truth.
No,
I'm
different
just
movie.
kidding.
Same actor though, Nicholson. But yeah, in the Departed, he's like, yeah, you lived in the suburbs with your mom, and then on the weekends you came here, dropping your odds, hanging out in the
Yeah.
salty projects with your dad, and that's what people do. We're Christians in one moment, going to church, you live in that, and then you're around another group of people, and you just kind of keep it in, or you don't you don't spread it. You're a little more cautious at what we put out there to people. So it's not easy to do, but I think it's something we should try to focus on a little bit more. The world could be a better place, Juice.
Right on.
All right, so let's jump right into things here and talk about the disgusting story of Mr. Sean P. Diddy Combs. All of you people out there probably already know about this. It's been going on for a few weeks now, but the guy clearly is depraved. Throwing these nasty freak off parties, they called them. Filled with debauchery, sex, drugs, alcohol. 1,000 some odd bottles of lubricant and oils and all this weird shit going on. And should we be surprised? I guess is the take that I want to go with this. Is it seems like this is something everybody was well aware of, things like this going on. We look back on a thing like the Me Too movement in that creep. What was that guy's name, Juice?
Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah, yeah. Everybody knew what that guy was doing, yet everybody kept their mouth shut. What is truth? It was Javi's truth, right? Well, you had
Love
to
how you
go
go
on.
to me for a name. Uh,
You knew though. You knew right away. No, but you you had to do that in order to try to get rich and famous. You had to keep your mouth shut about that in order to try to get discovered as an actor and actress. And
and
it's
that shit's
disgusting.
existed. Excuse my language. That's existed way before Harvey Weinstein. That's been at least a rumor in Hollywood.
Yeah,
Sleep your way to the
absolutely.
top, right?
Absolutely. I mean, we got someone who was able to do it to the California Senate and to the vice
Mhm.
presidency, more or less. I mean, not slept her way all the way up to the top, but that's how she got her start, by having an affair with a married man. In a just moral society would penalize somebody who did that. That would be a scandal that she wouldn't have been able to recover from. The Bill Clinton thing would have been a scandal that the man would have had to step down and resign the presidency from. In our world today, we've grown to accept that type of stuff. There's no
Yeah, he
wonder.
didn't have sexual relations with Monica Lewinsky.
Yeah. Yep. Now that would have been perfect if you could have done one of those like southern like accents, like a nice Clinton accent. You would have
Arkansas,
crushed it.
something like
Arkansonian.
molasses spilling out of your mouth.
Yeah, exactly. So it just goes to show you that these people that have become rich, famous, influential in the culture, they've made a deal with the devil somewhere along the line. I mean, is it an actual deal with the devil, or is this like the dangers of like unlimited wealth and fame and stuff? You know what I mean? Like what came first, the chicken or the egg, Juice,
I don't know.
on this?
It might be an actual deal because you see, it's getting crazy. Like I know there's something to be said about shock value, and rock and roll's always been, considered, on the edge and things like that. But how many times you see like a screenshot with 10 different people, they're all dressed up like Lucifer, or, you know
Mm,
what I mean? Goat
yep.
horns and Baphomet, and
Yeah.
they're all doing that, right? Remember, like it
Yeah.
started out like, say, Sam Smith was like buttoned up, normal person, and now he's wearing, you know, devil
Yeah.
costume and cross dressing and shit.
It's a
Excuse
good
my
point.
language.
No, it pulls it out of you like somehow, right? Like you start being around these people, and then it's like obviously anybody who's rich, is going to surround themselves with yes men, that nobody ever tells them no anymore, because if they do, they just fire them and replace them with somebody else. And
Yeah, maybe
then
don't do the devil bit. That's been going, like, people have been getting a little
yeah,
backlash on that.
yeah,
Remember this person, Little Nas X, who eventually did that. I got that old town, whatever,
yeah,
riding the horse into town or whatever.
hmm
Uh, he's given a lap dance to the devil. You know, he
Yeah.
he ended up being gay. He's doing lap
Yeah.
dances on the devil. Like,
And
what are
it's
we doing?
encouraged. It's like
It's art,
it,
dude. It's
yeah,
beautiful.
yeah.
Self-expression.
And it just makes me think like it's like we're living in the times of Sodom and Gomorrah, like here. Like it's when is the world gonna just like when sulfur gonna is that sulfur? Sulfur
Yeah, we don't like
gonna
sulfur.
rain down from the from the skies on us here.
Magma, lava,
Yeah,
liquid
it's
hot
wild.
magma.
Yeah, and I guess to give you a little taste of like how out in the open this Diddy stuff was, Juice found a little compilation of Diddy interviews and stuff that dates back years now, where it seems like knowing what we know now, the man was hinting at the stuff that was going on, and no one bothered to care or look or think twice about it. So, Juice, you want to
Yeah.
fire that one up?
Yeah, someone else put this together. This is a, compilation of the foreshadowing, I guess if that's the word.
Okay.
Foreshadowing of what was happening.
Legendary for the parties that you throw.
I'm a legend, baby, for a whole bunch of things.
Yes.
You need locks on the doors.
Okay, this is sounding kind of dangerous now.
I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year. Hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you
I
seeing?
went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it.
Justin, right now he's having 48 hours with Diddy. Where we hanging out and what we doing, we can't really disclose. I had legal guardianship of Usher when, he did his first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. And we gonna go buck full crazy.
Going crazy.
Crazy.
Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy camp?
Hell no.
See?
That should tell you everything you need to know right there at the end, huh?
Dude, hell no. And before that, Bieber being, please don't make me hang out with you again.
Yeah, exactly. It's wild, man. Like, why is this okay? And I think like kind of what you alluded to with like the rock band type of stuff and the rock and roll lifestyle, not trying to condone that at all. Like it was sex, drugs, and alcohol, but it always seemed like at least that was with grown-ups, adults, and people that were consenting.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of rockers who end up marrying like 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds. If you look back
really?
on it, yeah.
Okay.
Wasn't great either. Like going backstage, they didn't care how old those girls were.
Okay. All right.
It's
So never
always
mind
been
on that
depraved.
point.
Yeah,
It's like
so-
why is it like these young kids? Like where does that come from? Like what part of it is that? I don't get that at all. And I guess segueing into the next clip we're about to show, like I do want to pose the question though, because like I'm happily married, love my wife, love my family, but like I can at least understand why someone who gets, the fame, wealth, and the female attention thrown in their direction by adults in that type of lifestyle. I can understand why somebody would fall subject to that, where the weakness would come into play to fall for your lust. I don't understand why anybody would do that for somebody that's 14, 12, 10, like that is where I'm like, I can't even comprehend that aspect of it. At least, the person who's thrown into fame and wealth that ends up cheating on their wife or husband, because everyone's throwing themselves at you. It's at least understandable, I guess, and I posed the question to myself, to you, to everybody else out there. If you ever became rich and famous, like, would you be able to continue to live your life the way you're living your life now? Like, would you be able to resist temptations to just be partying 24/7, to be going to places like the Diddy party, to be going, hanging out till 4 or 5 in the morning every night, drinking and doing drugs and stuff like that? Like, I don't know. Like, it's something I truly do ask myself. And I'd like to think that at 39 years old, I'd be a lot more well-equipped to handle that than I would have at 25 years old. And I think I have more perspective in my life now. I think I have much more in my life that I would not want to lose or to jeopardize, if the Right and Wrong show ended up becoming super popular and famous, and now me and Juice are in the spotlight, I think I
married conservative moms throwing themselves at you. I don't know that our audience is throwing themselves at you.
Exactly.
But even that, right, at 29, whatever, like these other kids, like the Biebers and Usher, like grew up in it, didn't have a chance. They're getting
they're screwed, like, right?
Like their parents kind of sold them away to the quote unquote devil, as it looks now.
Absolutely. And that's where it's like, that's the difference of like Usher having gone through it. Like, well, I don't know his parental backstory, but like he's sitting there, he's basically calling his parents out by being like, oh, 13 years old, would you let your kid hang out with Diddy? And he's like, hell no. So like that's a comment on his own parents, like, why were you guys letting me hang out with this guy?
Real quick though, shout out to Bieber. He's been going in the right direction. Like, I think,
isn't he like married and stuff?
I don't know about that, like, but I know he's like working on a gospel album. Not saying you'll have to do gospel music, but he's moving towards, away from the Diddy party and to God.
Good. So that is good. And hopefully he this stuff gets him to maybe come out and talk about what was going on a little bit. You never know. But kind of what I was like going at there though was I saw a Walsh interview. It was him and Jordan Peterson, and they were promoting the new movie, the Am I Racist movie, which is hilarious. I highly recommend going to see it. But they talked about fame, wealth, recognition, that type of stuff. And Walsh's answer to this question really stood out to me, and it really did make me look in the mirror myself and ask that question I just asked you guys. Like, if we became rich and famous and people started throwing themselves at you, people started throwing money, drugs, alcohol at you, would we be able to resist that stuff? And let's go to Walsh and see how we handled that.
How long have you been married?
Almost 13 years.
Okay, why do you like being married?
Oh, wow.
Well, why not just look, you're a famous guy and you have a lot of money. And so in principle, you could have women at your disposal if you wanted to go that route. That's very, very common for celebrities. And so I could say to you, look, well, why not have your cake and eat it too? You could keep up the appearance of your marriage, but you could be having plenty of action on the side. And I'm presuming you're not doing that. And if the opportunity is there, which it is now, because many men are going to be monogamous or involuntarily celibate because they don't have the bloody opportunity. So there's no morality in that. But you're now in a position where you could pretty much do whatever the hell you wanted on the sexual front. And so why are you committed to your marriage? What's in it for you?
Well, I would say, yeah, it's interesting because there's, and you could say I have to say this if I'm speaking publicly, but it also, and maybe I do, but it also happens to be true that there is nothing about the scenario that you just described that I find even remotely appealing. The idea of being unfaithful to my wife, I find it's a horror show when I think about it. Like every aspect of that is a horror show. Okay. Nothing about it I find even remotely tempting.
Okay, why? Why is it a horror show? Why is it a horror show when you think about it?
Well, because everything you're bringing into your life is terrible. You're bringing lies and deception and betrayal into your life. I also happen to love my wife very much, and as we just talked about, loving, I believe, is willing the good of the other. That is very much not willing what is good for her or my family. Every part of it, I don't see any advantage. I don't see anything about it that's appealing at all.
I think it's a great answer. And I love the way that Peterson posed that of even being like, most people don't have the opportunity or the whatever, they don't have the position. So it's not, how moral is it if you're faithful to your wife, you don't cheat on your wife because you've never had an opportunity. No one's ever thrown themselves at you, basically, is what he's getting at. And that's where it's like relatable to me. I'm like, okay, yeah, never would. I don't think I would. I don't want to. I have no desire to do that. But I also don't have anybody throwing themselves at me either. Like I'm just.
Well, did you see the comment section that week you wore a basketball jersey with those biceps out.
Yeah, the tank.
Summer tan.
Oh yeah.
I can't imagine it, like, even from, like, the simplest standpoint of, like, even taking God out of it and this is wrong, etc. Like, I can't imagine the guilt you feel, the like, where, like, the instant gratification of sex or something is worth, being a liar the rest of your life to your spouse and to God and to yourself, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and you're right. You'd be living a lie the rest of your life. Like, how do you like? I don't know. That would weigh over you, like like an anvil hanging over your head, like just waiting for it to drop. And I don't know, like it's just not worth it at all. And I love the way like Walsh was like, it's just bringing everything that's just bad into your life. Like it's just the thought of it is unbearable. And I love that. And that to me is yet another reason why I truly like the Daily Wire. Like I subscribe, I listen to those guys and stuff, but like
You do? Oh,
honestly,
we didn't know. Ruka 30 at checkout.
yeah, exactly. But like I honestly believe that it feels like those guys are genuine. And if it ever comes out that they're not genuine, if you find something out, that's gonna ruin all the credibility that they have. So it's one of those things where those guys talk about the things they talk about and carry themselves a certain way that's inspiring to someone like me who's trying to do something similar to that and also wants to orient my life in the same way that those guys speak about it. And I put that hand in hand with my religious life and with political world that we live in, and they all kind of blend together to live in a good society, to hopefully change the secular world that we live in, and to hopefully spread that message of Jesus by the way you live your life and the things we talk about. And just think about all the credibility that would be lost if it came out that Walsh had a cheated on his wife or something. Then he'd be like, oh, this guy's full of shit. Like, doesn't practice what he preaches. And I think that's huge for public figures, and too many of them live double lives. They present themselves one way on camera, yet live a different way behind the scenes. Like everybody thought that dude Matt Lauer was the wholesome, nice guy on the Good Morning America or whatever show it was, and he had the thing under his desk to lock the door behind him when women entered his office. Remember, like, and he would it's disgusting. But
Yeah, slap him on the ass and stuff.
Yeah, and that guy's the wholesome person that all the stay-at-home moms I think is just like the lovable Matt Lauer. Like it's crazy. So I really do hope that something like that never happens with the guys that we like to follow on the Daily Wire, and hopefully they do a good job vetting the people that that end up making it through them, and that people can really live their moral life at the same time that they do become wealthy, influential, and more in the spotlight. So I
Yeah,
don't know.
shout out to like the Chris Pratts and stuff of the world. I don't know if he's ever been to Boston or not. I don't think so, but he has this platform making 30 million a movie, one of the biggest stars in Hollywood.
Yeah,
and he's
yeah,
up there speaking the truth.
Exactly. And how many people have come to Jesus because of hearing some of the stuff he said? I'm sure there's plenty of people. Even if it's one person, it's worth it. So that's a great thing. So the Diddy stuff, terrible. Be more like the Daily Wire people. Be more like the Chris Pratts of the world. Be more wholesome. Try to at least. Okay, now let's slide over to one of the most frustrating stories that I've been hearing in all of the who's who list of Democrat, stooges have been sharing this Amber Thurman story. Juice, I'm sure it's something familiar to you down in Georgia. Just to get everyone caught up to speed. Amber Thurman's a Georgia resident, or was. She's now died. But the whole story is being framed that she died because of Georgia's anti-abortion laws. You and I know not to believe that just on the surface, but there's a ton of people now that are making this front and center and trying to use this as a way to promote the Kamala Harris administration instead of Trump, because Trump's pro-life, anti-abortion legislation led to this poor woman's death, and that's just simply not the case. I guess before we go any further, Jude, you want to bring in, unless you have something to say, like on it, a little something. We can show that clip that kind of sums up the story as well.
Wait till after. Yep.
Georgia made national headlines. Amber's case came to light through the reporting of journalist Kavitha Sarana with ProPublica. And so listen to her story.
2 years ago, 28-year-old Amber Nicole Thurman, a medical assistant and a single mother to a 6-year-old boy, found out she was pregnant. Amber had just secured her own apartment and was thinking about going to nursing school. She made the decision to terminate her pregnancy. A strict abortion ban had recently taken place in her home state of Georgia, which caused Amber to travel to North Carolina for the procedure. Traffic made her miss the appointment, so the clinic gave her medication, what are known as abortion pills. Once back home, Amber experienced profuse bleeding, vomiting, severe pain. She eventually passed out. Her boyfriend called for an ambulance. At the Georgia hospital, Amber's condition deteriorated quickly. In a rare occurrence, it was discovered her body had not expelled all the fetal tissue and an infection was spreading. Official Georgia State medical expert analysis of her case says Amber should have received a life-saving D&C, but doctors waited 20 hours before deciding to take her to surgery. Amber's blood pressure had taken a dive. Her organs had started failing. In the operating room, her heart stopped. On the way to surgery, Amber's last words to her mother were, "Promise me you'll take care of my son."
Guys, now, I don't know about you out there. It's a sad story. It really is. I don't want to make light of someone who just died. Like somebody lost their life, and 3 people lost their lives there, and it's nothing good about that story. But the second I saw that thing being shared and spread and promoted the way it was by the members of the left, the antenna went up in on my head right away, and I just 2 seconds worth of Googling and kind of looking into this, actually clicking on the story that they were sharing, the ProPublica story that they had mentioned, and just reading the story. I was like, okay, this is not because of any abortion laws that this woman died. My mind immediately went to, okay, she's already a single mother with a 6-year-old, getting the ambulance called from her boyfriend while she's now pregnant again with twins. Were any lifestyle choices made here that are positive by Amber Thurman? Like, why isn't she married to the person that she had her first child with? Why isn't she married to the person that she's having another child with? Plenty of people do that. I had a child before I was married. Believe me, that happens. But why, why isn't she with the person?
Drama alert.
Why isn't she with the person that she had her first child with? Why is she just moving into just secured an apartment and was looking at it's like they give you all these sob things, but it's like, wait a minute, did Amber Thurman make positive choices in her life? Did she live in a society, in a world that encouraged her to make choices that would help her family? Or have they encouraged her to live a lifestyle where she's going to get herself pregnant and then be able to just go kill her children instead of making better choices to live in a manner that's going to be healthy for her family? I don't know. Juice, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are, where's the outrage for the 2 babies that were murdered in the process?
Yeah.
Second thing is, what I get from that, and I haven't looked a ton into it, but like she got these abortion pills and died. Like, did it have anything to do with that? Like, I don't like mistakes happen in the thing, but I don't think they're making her wait. Did they make her wait 20 hours because she took an abortion pill for her to die? Like, where does that fit into the
So
story?
see, the part of that to me
Was
is like
the
two
chicken
things
or
can be
the egg
true.
on that? Was the pills what killed her, or was the waiting
Well, absolutely.
or
The
whatever?
pills
Like, I don't know why the
are sticking
waiting. I
into her
don't get
body.
that. But
So two things can be true at once, right? Like I have no idea about the medical situation there at the hospital. It clearly seems like she should have been worked on, should have been operated on sooner than she was. But there's nowhere in that story, no evidence whatsoever that shows that the reason that medical attention was delayed is because of the abortion.
yeah,
Like these
now we're
laws and
gonna hold you.
no,
We're not gonna help you because no, like in my mind,
not at
like
all.
yeah, she made a grave mistake, sin, murdered 2 babies, but doesn't mean we let her die. Do you know what I
No,
mean? There's
no,
something about
exactly.
forgiveness, and you made a
And they're
sin,
trying
and that's
so
bad. But
so they're trying to frame it as if like the medical attention was delayed because the doctors thought they would end up going to jail over it, but there's no evidence that supports that whatsoever. In a simple Google search, literally
everything
Google search,
says
Georgia
save the
heartbeat.
mother if you can. Yeah,
It says it right here, Juice. The law provides that no abortion shall be performed if the unborn child has a detectable human heartbeat, except in the event of a medical emergency or medically futile pregnancy. So there was no heartbeat. The children were already dead. She had twins. She took the pill. They already died. She already
killed them.
already had an abortion. It just didn't not all the tissue cleared out. So there was no heartbeat. So the whole law prevents them from performing an abortion or performing any
Yeah, she
surgery
did this in
if a
North
heartbeat can be
Carolina, but
detected.
here in Georgia, we save people if they're, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
You already killed these
Exactly.
babies. Now you came back to Georgia. We'll provide you medical care. Yeah, I'm interested to see what happened in those 20 hours, though. But yeah,
Yeah.
if it's
Yeah, the hospital, like there's something that like they did something wrong, but the Democrats and, people like Liz Warren here tweeting out Amber Nicole Thurman, a mother of a 6-year-old son, died after routine medical care was delayed. Her doctors feared criminal prosecution under Georgia's abortion ban. Her death was preventable. Donald Trump said abortion bans are a beautiful thing. Like, that's the tweets that are going out over this from prominent members of the Democratic Party. So
I'd be interested to see why, ask her the question of why that take care of my dying wishes or take care of my 6-year-old boy, but you're killing 2 other kids. Like,
exactly.
well, how does that work?
Because they're
How
trying
do
to
you
make
rationalize
sympathy.
that?
They're trying to make it sympathetic for her, And
No, I'm saying
and
even her. I would love to have asked her that question,
who, the
RIP.
mother?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you're
yeah.
so
Why?
concerned about this one that you're dying and someone needs to take care of him, but you just killed these other 2,
Yeah,
and,
without
you
a
die in the
second thought
process.
to it. And you know what? When I was kind of telling Ashley about this, another thing that stuck out to me was they gloss over the fact that like this woman, okay, they make it this crazy thing. She had to drive from Georgia to North Carolina to get this procedure because it's not available in Georgia. She can't even get there on time.
Yeah,
She
plan
can't
ahead
even
if you
show
wanna
up to
kill
her
your
appointment.
babies. If you wanna kill
And
your
they
babies,
say,
go a
"Oh,
day
because of
early.
she was late for the appointment because of traffic." Like, come on.
Bro, plan.
Like if this is important to you, if this is something you wanna do, you'd be there a half an hour early.
Or go a day
Then
early
in the
because you have a medical
traffic.
appointment.
Like, come on.
You got a
And
murder
so
scheduled the next day. You're gonna leave the same day? I know it's
yeah,
only about 3 hours. I've made
yeah,
that drive many times, 4 hours to,
yeah.
like, Raleigh or whatever.
So it's
Charlotte.
just to me that shows you the type of character you're dealing with, the person, the priorities of a person like that. And I'm sorry, you already have a bad character flaw in my mind that you're going and having an abortion. And then you can't even take it serious enough to show up on time to make it to your scheduled appointment. So
You
now you
can't
have to
even
take these
abort, right?
pills.
Yeah, you can't even abort correctly.
Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yet she's a sob story now and going to be the face of the anti-Trump, pro-woman movement that they're trying to gin up votes for Harris in this election. That, like you said, is what.
What
35
about
years
another?
away at this point.
What about another angle of like, are these pills that they gave her to kill the baby safe?
Thank you.
Ends up killing her. I know, like
they're
like,
on temporary. They're temporarily approved.
If
FDA.
these were safe, why would she need emergency surgery to save her life?
Exactly. So it's like they're saying that these abortion laws, right, are what killed this woman. Where the point you just made, Juice, is 100% right. I think these abortion pills are what killed this woman. They're not saying that. They're promoting these abortion pills. They're telling you these things are safe.
Well, shout out to the babies who are like, "Oh, you're trying to kill me? We're going to leave some fetal stuff behind here and make you pay for it."
Yeah. Seriously.
I mean, they're innocent. The kid, they haven't been born.
But like, it's crazy, man. And I just can't believe that point is the best there. That seriously that you just made is, it's not the abortion laws that killed this woman. It's the stupid abortion pills that killed her. Those are poison she's putting into her body to kill the children. You don't think that's going to have an adverse effect on her as well? You're putting poison into your body to do something, and it affected her as well. So it's crazy.
Want to keep this joyful train going? We got something on a similar subject.
Yeah. This is the stuff that's right up Juice's alley. He loves these things, but again, it's just to show you the pro-abortion agenda and world that we're living in. When you even have these prominent pastors on the altar promoting abortion. So, Juice, you want to give us the pastor that promoted abortion?
Abortion, make them stop. Talking about abortion makes many people profoundly uncomfortable. At dinner parties, in polite conversation with friends and family, and too often in church. Despite many people's profound discomfort with abortion, images, messaging, and moralizing about abortion are ubiquitous in our culture. Talking fetuses, aggressive bumper stickers, and saccharine billboards quoting scripture and invoking God's wrath pave our streets and plaster our highways. Politicians stump on the issue, and state legislatures spent the last 50 years working to control, regulate, and ultimately overturn Roe v. Wade. Their success was our failure. In the abortion imaginary, all people of faith are against abortion. This imaginary has colonized our minds, traumatizing many people with its toxic theology, and shaping a culture of stigma and shame that has silenced millions of women and people who have had abortions, erasing their voices, their stories, and their witness from the public sphere. As a child of God, I can certainly appreciate the lyrical beauty of this text, as well as the descriptions in Jeremiah and Job of their certain knowledge that God was with them in the womb. I too feel that I am known by God in these ways. As a woman who has borne 2 children, I can affirm that I felt something sacred happening in my gestating body during those pregnancies. I can also attest that I felt God's presence with me as I made the decision to end 2 pregnancies. And I felt no guilt, no shame, no sin. While the liminal space of my womb and all fertile wombs represents the possibility of creating new life, if pregnancy and gestation are to remain holy mysteries, they require cooperation. A forced pregnancy or birth is not holy. I cannot fathom a God who would imagine otherwise.
That's insane to me. Absolutely ridiculous. I felt no guilt, shame, or sin when I had the 2 abortions that I had. Clearly.
Dude, she has a Planned Parenthood vestment on.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if we're supposed to be, like, next thing you know, it's going to be like, are we going to put the priests are going to be sponsored?
Oh, yeah, like hockey players with the thing on their helmet or something.
Ricky Bobby with all the stuff on it. Wonder Bread.
Yeah, exactly. ugh, ridiculous. Now I don't even know what
Jesus was with me. God was with me when I had my abortions. Yeah, bullshit. He was, excuse my language. Sorry again. He was maybe trying to convince you. He was probably there, when he is there for you at all times, but maybe trying to convince you otherwise at that point.
Yep. I
And
think,
again, the two that she had versus the two that she killed, like, why are we differentiating there? Because it wasn't convenient to you.
exactly.
And not to mention, like, the Catholic Church that I belong to states like you shouldn't even wear protection when making love to your wife,
Mm-hmm.
like, let alone aborting these children. Like you're supposed to be open to life at
Open
all
to life
times.
at all times.
Either
Yeah.
like don't do it or this could happen.
Mm-hmm.
You could make a
Mm-hmm.
life. It doesn't mean let's, I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
just
You don't have to live a life of celibacy, but you need to be open to life. Like that's the teaching, and that's just ridiculous that she can get up there and say that. Like, think about how many people that woman's influencing, just by the position of prominence that she's usurped from someone who should be the actual pastor there or whatever. I don't
you
know
got
what.
to think they all know what they're going into if they've been to that
Yeah, I mean, you
church
have to,
before.
but like you're giving people a false morality, a false justification, instead of like going back to what I was saying at the beginning of the show in the monologue. It's like I want to live a life where we're living the truth, not what these people's truths are. Like they're up there spitting, telling these people a truth that they can be proud of their abortion and feel no shame or guilt. Like, how
Yep.
good is that going to do for people?
And we
That's
look to
terrible.
we look to our priests, pastors, Abba, Father, for the right way to live by
Hmm.
seeing how they do it. And yeah, people have fallen short. There's been scandals and things like that. But on the average, these are great people and a good way to lead your life by following their example. This not so much. This lady.
Yeah, crazy. So, I don't know. That's just how many people get influenced by that type of stuff. It's just, it's not cool. So, kind of shifting gears, but along the same lines, because I honestly I think of that as like religious propaganda, and we're gonna kind of slide into political propaganda here, and that's basically the entire Kamala Harris campaign at this point. And something that stood out to me was a headline from Fortune magazine, and it says Kamala Harris's favorability surge is the biggest of any candidate since Bush after 9/11. And I just kind of glossed through the article. I didn't. There wasn't a ton of takeaway from it, because like anything you need to know about this article tells you what you need to know right there from the headline. Biggest surge in favorability since Bush after 9/11. Why did Bush gain favorability after 9/11? Because he led admirably strong in the wake of a biggest disaster we've had on our soil since Pearl Harbor. What the hell has Kamala Harris done to get any sort of surge in favorability? Has she done anything of importance, anything noteworthy, anything at all? She's done
Just
one and a
being
half interviews.
Trump.
Exactly. So her surge in favorability is 100% media manipulation. It's puff pieces. It's the media propping her up. Her ratings were in the tank in January, lowest rated vice president in the history of our country. In
I can't trust
favorability,
these people
like,
on the left, man. And then they're like, "Yeah, she's killing it. This is what I
yeah,
want. She's the
she's
one."
so brat.
Yeah, she's so what?
Brat. That's one of those internet things.
Is it?
Like
She's
cool and
lit,
hip.
dude.
Yeah, man. So
We might get
that
a
just
lesson on that later. Foreshadowing
yeah, we
on our
might. I
Riz,
think we
on our
might. Yes.
skibbity toilets.
Yep, I think we might. So it's just like seriously, like I can't state that enough. Bush got popularity in favorability because of his handling in a disaster, his leadership in a time when we needed a leader. This woman has done nothing but shiver boss in the back while he's sitting in the wheelchair, like the dude from Breaking Bad there, the guy Salamanca, right? That's Biden sitting there like this, and she just pushed him out the door and stepped in instead.
He's just calling for an ice cream cone, right?
Yeah, exactly. So that's crazy. And I mean, I guess this must be playing
He's
well
also
for
like
some
that guy,
people.
Cordell. From if we're gonna talk Hannibal, because remember Trump loves talking Hannibal.
Yeah, yeah.
Cordell, get me my soup.
Cordell. So
Hannibal
I
Part
don't know.
2, right?
Yup, that stuff was the best. So this clip that we're about to show you guys here, it's back to that Oprah sit down that Kamala did, and
Horrible. It was
it's. I
horrible.
mean, I don't know, Juice. Maybe this is why her favorability is surging right now. It's like answers like this, Juice. It's got to be.
Yeah.
Let's see.
We love our country. I love our country. I know we all do. That's why everybody's here right now. We love our country. We take pride in the privilege of being American. And this is a moment where we can and must come together as Americans, understanding we have so much more in common than what separates us. Let's come together with the character that we are so proud of about who we are, which is we are an optimistic people. We are an optimistic people. Americans, by character, are people who have dreams and ambitions and aspirations. We believe in what is possible. We believe in what can be. And we believe in fighting for that. That's how we came into being, because the people before us understood that one of the greatest expressions for the love of our country, one of the greatest expressions of patriotism, is to fight for the ideals of who we are, which includes freedom to make decisions about your own body, freedom to be safe from gun violence, freedom to have access to the ballot box, freedom to be who you are and just be, to love who you love openly and with pride, freedom to just be. And that's who we are. We believe in all that. And so this is a moment where we stand knowing what we are fighting for. We're not fighting against. It's what we're fighting for.
Thank you. Thank you. Madam Vice President.
Woo.
She loves the smell of her own farts, Juice. She
Yeah.
thinks she's pretty impressed with herself there,
What
huh?
we love and cherish.
You hear Oprah there midway through?
Yeah, like Oprah, who can talk to a wall at any, like had nothing to even add.
Yeah, yeah.
And
But
trying to
like,
like cut her off. Okay, and next
no,
up
no, no,
is
no, no, no. See,
what?
I think it was like a yeah.
Oh, you're making me
Like that,
think.
like a
Yeah, we are fighting for the freedoms and stuff.
yeah, like that. That's where I think that came from. Like, are you kidding me? She's trying to prop it up like this is wow, this is very, oh, nobody's ever thought of that before.
Because if you've
Freedom
seen
to be who
other,
you
you've
are.
seen other questions from that town hall or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
The guy asks about the border, and he has to
Oh,
stand up the
boy.
whole time, going like, "Yeah, yeah," and she's just
Said
like, "Word
absolutely
salad,
nothing.
word salad," and he has to like, he's up there with his khakis,
Yep.
just asking a question, and he's probably, hopefully, he's changed his vote because
I
he
hope
said
so, man.
absolutely nothing.
He
And
did not answer
while
his
I'm
question.
still ranting, like screw this lady Kamala or whatever. She's, oh, we're fighting for this. This is what our forefathers did, etc. But she's coming to take your guns. What if it was
Exactly.
something we needed to fight for, or we're the forefathers of the next generation and might need to take up
Yeah.
arms. And she's coming
Yep.
to do a mandatory buyback, but she has her gun. She'll tell you that a lot of times.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. Her staff will clean that up for her.
Screw this lady, dude.
She's horrible. I'm surprised she didn't do the unburdened by what has been. Like,
Yeah.
she wanted to. She was there, man. She was teetering on it. But I mean, how anybody can listen to that and fall for that whole lot of
You guys
lies.
hate America, bro.
Yeah.
The whole crew.
She's not patriotic at all.
What America do
Patriotism.
you love? Not the one that we've been trying to work on for 250
Dude, she wants to
years.
protect everybody's freedom to live their own truth. Like that's again going back to that same thing. That's everything she was saying there was all about the freedom to do whatever you want, to
Love
have
who you love.
abortions, to get rid of your gun, to love who you love, unburdened by any truth out there.
Yeah, I don't care if they
What's
love
your
who
truth?
they love, whatever. Like I'm not about that, but like the other stuff, I'm burdened by.
Exactly. So it's crazy. There's no way that has become favorable in the last 9 months or whatever. Like she's still just as unlikable as she was back in January. It just happens to be she's the face of the party right now, and they're doing anything they can do to try to prop her up. And that's the propaganda right in front of us.
I wish we had it for the show, but maybe we can either put in the comments. No, we're not committing to that just yet, but they do those songs where it's like it's actually the person's voice, but AI, you can make them kind of say anything.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Very scary stuff going forward. They can, basically make a fake porno tape of you or something, right? It's scary technology. But when they use it well, it's hilarious. You heard that Borderzar song?
Oh, it's unbelievable.
And it's
the one
made
with
after
everything they said. It was great.
How bizarre that song, right? That's what it's after. How bizarre. Right? And it's saying Borderzar.
Borderzar.
We should put that in the comments.
We should. I think the dude from California, the governor there, like used that as a way to say like, oh, we want to prosecute over misinformation like this and deceptive deep fakes. Like, I don't think he's gonna actually be able to do it. But
or cheap fakes as
cheap
KG.
fakes. It's insane. But yeah, that was hilarious, and it's pretty obvious that it's pretty obvious that it's a spoof. You know what I mean? It's not like they're trying to
like, are they going to stop prosecuting SNL skits?
Yeah, exactly.
They're kind of doing like for every 5 lib, they're doing mixing in a conservative skit nowadays.
Of course,
every 10.
Yeah.
Are we gonna stop that?
Come on, we're gonna outlaw mockery.
We're gonna take the free speech and the guns, so that usually works out for every other civilization who's done that.
That's great. Aren't I so favorable now?
Yeah.
Look at this favorability. All right, Juice, let's bring this thing home. And before we
keeping it,
remind everybody to please give us a follow and subscribe to the show. Follow us on YouTube, the Right and Wrong podcast page, Rumble, Apple, and Spotify. We always post the feed to the YouTube and the Rumble pages as well on the audio only ones. I definitely recommend if you listen to just Spotify or Apple, give us a click, watch the video. You get to see the actual clips that we're showing and get to see it that way too. But throw a little subscribe our way.
Yeah, smash the like button, put the notifications on.
Exactly. You'll know every time we post anything. Yeah, we're not super consistent with the times that we post them, but we put some other stuff up throughout the week, some smaller clips sometimes too. So you'll get notified.
Look into that Twitter machine now, that X.
Yeah, man. X, I'm at DD Ruka 617, up over 1,000 followers now.
Gonna be posting there too. Can you post a whole app on there?
I don't know. That's a good point. I think I might.
Either way, just do like segments or something. But yeah, we're coming at you. Coming at you harder. Putting more money into it. We're looking for you.
Hell yeah, baby. So this segment here is our always fun, always popular come on, man segment of the day. This is when we find a clip of somebody doing something, saying something so absurd, so ridiculous that even though we're going to make fun of them for a couple of minutes, there's not much else we could say to them except, what, Juice?
Oh, man.
Thank you. Exactly. So we're going to go to the fine state of Michigan here. And this is a swing state. It's a big one. Kamala has a slight advantage here. She's in the lead. And I think the governor there, Gretchen Whitmer, is trying to help her out. She's trying to show that she's hip, that she's young, that she's what did you say there earlier, Juice? What's that word?
Lit, maybe.
Lit? Yeah, maybe
she's
lit.
Like, if peeing your pants is cool, consider me Miles Davis.
Exactly. So she put out this ad the other day, and I just think the young folk are gonna flock to this stuff. They're all over it, man. Really appealing to the college age kids. Shots. Oh boy. So without further ado, let's see the governor from Michigan.
Fringe city.
Here with volunteers, and they're cooking with gas. This slaps hella. My house party just slayed. I'm calling voters today, rizzing them up. Trump wants to ship union jobs overseas, not chill. This is gas. Trump wants to cut taxes for billionaires. I'm leaving the chat. No cap. I'm Swifty AF. It's giving the next president.
Wow. Juice, this coffee is gas, bro. This is gas.
Dude, that was so totally cringe, bro.
How hard did they try on that? I'm leaving the chat.
Just risen up the voters over here.
Oh my gosh. That is bad, dude.
And I know every generation says this about the next, but their slang is garbage, right?
Oh, it's terrible.
Bet.
Terrible. Who really came up with that one? Oh, Riz.
No,
got a lot of charisma.
No cap.
Okay. I don't even know what the cap thing is. What's that all
I think
about?
it means like you're telling the truth.
Yeah, but I don't know where that. At least the Riz makes sense on where it came from.
Yeah, you just told me that charisma. I got that now. Thanks for that.
What
about the skibbity
I'll thank my
toilet?
mid-20 coworkers for that one.
What about the skibbity stuff? Can you figure that one out?
Skibbity stuff. I have no clue.
Skibbity toilet.
I don't know.
Oh, you got skibbity toilet, Riz.
Dude, run that back again, would you? I want to see that one more time. It's so bad.
Here with volunteers, and they're cooking with gas. This slaps hella. My house party just slayed. I'm calling voters today, rizzing them up. Trump wants to ship union jobs overseas, not chill. This is gas. Trump wants to cut taxes for billionaires. I'm leaving the chat. No cap. I'm Swifty AF. It's giving the next president.
Dude.
Swifty AF.
No cap. I wish you would leave the country instead of the chat.
Seriously.
No
What
cap.
about cooking with gas? These people are the ones who want to take your gas ovens, gas stoves away from you, too.
Cooking with electric, yeah.
Are you kidding me? Terrible. She thinks she's cool with that Hawaiian shirt. Like, come on.
No cap.
What is going on here? So awkward. I don't get it, man. I don't understand who does that play to? Even if it does get the audience they're looking to attract with that, do you think anybody who like actually does use that slang and language is watching this and like, oh, look at this lady, this 50
because that was so
year-old, I think
smooth,
she's
like
53. Like,
they probably crossed out the word and wrote riz. She was like, I am rizzing them up. Like it wasn't even like practice the line even.
Oh man. Yeah, first time she was hearing it, right?
Ton of charisma in that video.
Oh boy, really bad. So Governor Gretchen Whitmer over there in Michigan, keep doing what you do because it's bad, it's cringy, and hopefully it's going to help Trump more than it helps Kamala Harris. So you, my friend, have earned yourself one big, fat, classic.
Come on, man.
And that'll do it for today's episode. Nice and tight, just where we like it. Thank you guys for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe to the show. Apple, Spotify, YouTube, Rumble, anywhere you get your podcasts. And give my boy Juice a few follows there on the Twitter machine. And until next week.
Thanks for having us.
Me
mostly.
The Right and Wrong Show is produced by Juice. Executive producer, Juice. Audio mixer is Juice. Hair by Skull Shavers. Wardrobe and makeup by Ashley Ruka. Right and Wrong song created by Juice. The Right and Wrong Show is copyright 2022 from Brian Ruka.